Welcome to the Kyrie New Creed Talk That Talk podcast. My name is Marcus.
And I'm Kyrie, better known as Say Two.
Alright. Social media is addictive. I'll be the first to put my hands up and be transparent that it's easy to kind of get lured into some things because you do know the good side of social media. You do know the side that helps promote. It get a message out quick as you can. But we got to learn how to get up off of that thing. That's what James Brown said. You got to know when to get up off of it now. Because if you get too caught up in it, and every beep, every click, every tip, and every whoop, and oh yeah, okay.
What you got for it?
Man, I want to talk about the pros and cons of social media.
Okay.
The pros and cons of social media, man. I was talking to my son about it today over lunch after I took him driving lessons. And so you can't deny the help that it can do. I mean, back when we was doing our music back in the day, me, Tim, and all the guys that we was with, King D, and all of us, we didn't have that internet. And so stuff they doing now to get a name out is like, I mean, it's like overnight. You can make an account and then, get followers or whatever, send videos, make videos easier. I just remember they used to be so hard to get stuff done. We had tried to come up with money. I'm talking about tapes and then eventually CDs, but it's like, it's just hard. Ain't got the money to do this now. It's just like upload to a site, and now if a person want to watch it, I mean, you can get the stuff to them now. But I remember we didn't have that. So we definitely got some upsides to social media. This is very important, y'all. Check this out. When you're playing a game or accomplishing a task, you seek to do it well as you can. Once you succeed, your brain will give you a dose of dopamine and other happiness hormones, making you happy. If we keep trying to get stimulated from that social media happiness, we got to be careful. Every like to your picture, every like to a thought that you put down. But then there's that other side, and this part I want to hit on, then I'll ask you a question. You got this side that main news don't report really the real of what's going on in the world. Right. I mean, I done seen way more on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube that I didn't know that happened. Or damn, I didn't know 300 people was lost down in or killed down in such and such. That went on there. Oh, I didn't know. And it's just sad to see. Or just one place where there's a lot of black kids, about 15 years old, coming up missing. And it's just like, well, ain't reported on main news, but you can see it on TikTok. So that's a pro that we can at least get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, from social media, from
yeah. And then the con, now let's just speak on it after this. The cons is just the whole false narratives, stuff that can be painted and then it's gonna get out there fast. They used to say, used to be a saying about the devil. Well, the lie has wings and the truth has feet. So it may get there quicker because it got wings. The lie may get there a whole lot quicker, but when the truth get there, it's gonna stand. So that's the cool part about, you know what I'm saying? That's the downside when it comes to social media. That lie gonna get there so much faster. That narrative painted however you wanted to paint. We were just talking about what you said, Kendrick said about Drake and whether it's true or not, pedophile and all that type of stuff. Well,
like I said,
if it's a lie, it's almost like more people are gonna believe that. It's just like the robot that's inside this thing. And it's meeting the needs of whatever a person desires. If it see you put on here, man, I just wish I had a girlfriend. I just wish I had a boyfriend. I wish I wasn't so lonely. It can respond to that. So you think you getting an email or a text or a message from somebody who's really interested in you, and it could very well be just the net. So what do you think just about the pros and cons of social media?
Yeah, you got a good point about that, because it's easy. It's easy for some slander to get attached to you, and just like you said about Drake, and then it'll spread and it could mess your business up too. Especially anything on something got to do with women, children, women, and that's gonna really mess up. So, but you like again, you got access to a lot of things that can help you. Like you say, you can get out there quicker. If you're trying to promote something, you can get it. Get a business out or something that you're trying to get out quicker. But on the flip side too, I think what be getting me is the cyber part of the internet.
Anybody ever looked up anything on Bishop Google? The excessive use of internet may lead to poor relationships with friends and family, lack of interest in daily life, and neglect of domestic, academic, professional, and other responsibilities that gradually lead to a disconnect of the quality of life.
Where they can get your information and use it for the wrong purpose, and how easily accessible these companies is volunteering your information for their own reasons. What I mean? I'm pretty sure it's to make money, whatever the reason is. The bottom line is money. But that's the part I don't like, because it's so easy for them to. I get a virus on my phone for the stupidest stuff. But you just never know who. It just depends on what site. To be able to identify if you can identify some of them traps, internet traps and pitfalls that they have out there, because I done fell into a lot of them just trying to learn different stuff on the internet. So you're right. It's advantage and disadvantage, but you still have to sometimes you just gonna have to use social media,
right? Especially
today, because it's just part of the program. So you can't really get away from it, but you just got to minimize. I think what site you on, and for the most part, minimize. You just use it for.
My mentor told me one time. He said, "Remember, Marcus, man, you ain't just looking at that phone. It's looking at you.
It's looking at you." Yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Oh, I know what you mean." You know what I'm saying? Because we done been in staff meetings on my job, man, and everybody's phone is out, man. That thing will just come on. It go this, and I'm like, and it'd be like a Google thing, or it's just like I asked for the mic. I didn't ask for that mic to come on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
I tell you what's funny. I done got a text from AI.
I believe
Siri sent me a text. With a number, and another one. What's the Lexia or something? Sent me something talking about something. I was like, hey, yo.
Yeah.
How's AI texting me? I don't know if it gather all your information or what they see you do on the internet and form their own,
And it's always constantly asking you, though, do you want to continue with more AI conversations? And if you hit yes on that, but it ain't.
I don't want y'all.
This one kid I don't know the backstory to it, but this one kid just really committed suicide based on a cyber woman that he wasn't a real person, but it was telling him like what to do. You know what I'm saying? And he was didn't want to lose her, and he was saying he just felt like killing himself, and she said, that you should, and he did.
I think I remember that. A few years ago.
Social media is full of mood modifying experiences. Recently, a young boy broke my heart. 13, 14, handsome little kid. Because AI told him to. He was going back and forth with this that he hasn't never met. Thought he had a good person to talk to. The story goes that he claimed that he was down in the dumps on that particular day, a little depressed, and said he just felt like killing himself. And supposedly what's recorded is that it said, you should. And you should. And he did. That's just one little boy. But just it's many who are not talking to an actual person. They talking to the machine. Yeah.
And I done ran into, I guess they call them bots, not real people or something. Is that what they? But I done ran into some on Facebook that's pretending to be. Cause after I communicate for a minute, I was like, who is this? You know what I'm talking about? And it don't be nothing sexual, but like, who is this? I thought it was just I didn't take it that way.
Yeah.
It was just some fake,
Yeah.
made up, all this. I just block it.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah.
Once soon as I catch that this is a bot and you playing, it's just some hocus pocus, I block it. That's over. We ain't gonna keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know this. Back to your, don't get off the top, the advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, but you just got to be focused and know kind of what you
know what you need.
Yeah.
There's a way that seems right to a man, but in the end, it's the way of death. When the parent feels like just putting that tablet and phone in front of them because it's going to make them leave you alone for a couple of hours, we don't realize what we're doing. We don't realize what we're doing. I may be a little guilty of some of that. If you ain't going to believe the promises of God's faithful word, you're going to believe a promise, whether it's flesh-related promise, Satan-related promise, internet-related promise. You're gonna grab hold of one of them promises. But I was teaching, and I said, if we don't connect with God on a daily basis, you're still gonna get a devotion. If you don't read a devotion yourself, you're gonna get a devotion. Oh, I promise you. Because the devil's got one for you, the world's got one for you, the lying enemy's got one for you. You're gonna get a devotion. Anybody know what a FOMO is? Fear of missing out has become a common theme and often leads to continually checking social media sites. The idea that you might miss out on something, it can affect your mental health.